suddenly just start free-floating in space. This is all science fiction illusion created by wires, green screens, dark pools, some permed hair, and zero-G planes. In 1998, NASA claimed to have sent up their first piece of the ISS, International Space Station. They have been caught, however, time and again with air bubbles forming and floating off in their official outer space footage. Astronauts have also been caught using scuba space gear, kicking their legs to move, and astronaut Luca Parmitano even almost drowned when water started filling up his helmet while allegedly on a spacewalk. It is admitted that astronauts train for their spacewalks in underwater training facilities like NASA's Neutral Buoyancy Lab, but what is obvious from their space bubbles and other blunders is that all official spacewalk footage is also fake and filmed underwater. Analysis of many interior videos from the International Space Station have shown the use of camera tricks such as green screens, harnesses, and even wildly permed hair to achieve a zero-gravity type effect. Footage of astronauts seemingly floating in the zero gravity of their space station is indistinguishable from Vomit Comet zero-G airplane footage. By flying parabolic maneuvers, this zero-G floating effect can be achieved over and over again, then edited together. For longer uncut shots, NASA has been caught using simple wires and green screens. In 2001, Charles K. Johnson died, and having lost all his flat Earth material and correspondence in his house fire, the IFERS was officially finished. Leo Ferrari's farcical Flat Earth Society, on the other hand, continued operation as usual, making a mockery of the Flat Earth subject. In 2004, the reins of FES presidency were handed over to Daniel Shenton, of no relation to genuine Flat Earther Samuel Shenton, who, true to Ferrari's example, maintains the Flat Earth Society website to this day, where they purport such fantastical, purposeful disinformation as the flat Earth disk constantly rising upwards forever through the universe to account for gravity. Their sole purpose, as Charles Johnson correctly stated, is clearly to poison the well and muddy the waters of truth. In 2008, teacher and author Eric Dubay, that's me, began a website and published a book titled The Atlantean Conspiracy, which exposed, among many other things, Freemasonry, the fake moon landings, geocentricity, and even featured a quote from IFERS president Charles K. Johnson. At the time, I had already read Samuel Rowbotham and William Carpenter's old 19th century Flat Earth books, and though personally still on the fence regarding the shape of the Earth, I was confident they were correct about the location, or geocentricity of Earth, so I wrote about it. In 2009, after watching Alex Jones interview and praise several NASA astronauts on his show, I wrote an article and sent a message to him and his producers about the moon landing hoax, and included a link to Samuel Rowbotham's Flat Earth book for them to read. Alex even mentioned this on air the next day, and called me a flat earther who thinks he's covering up some Atlantean conspiracy, the title of my book and website.
The Earth being flat, that's clearly ridiculous. Though I've actually been contacted by some flat earthers saying I'm covering up the fact that it's some Atlantean conspiracy.
For the next several years, I continued writing books and articles about various conspiracies and worked on building a huge social media presence. By making multiple accounts, adding as many friends and followers as possible, joining and posting to as many groups and pages as possible, over the course of a few years, I began building up very large followings on Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn, Twitter, StumbleUpon, Pinterest, Sue, and many other sites. To give you an example of their efficacy, you can see here my main Google+ account with over 135 million views, and my secondary one with over 87 million. In mid-2011, a professional artist, comedian, and Hollywood actor named Math Powerland, claiming to also be an ex-NASA whistleblower, created the NASA channel on YouTube. He made a few decent videos exposing NASA image fakery, but his channel certainly did not contain many flat Earth proofs or evidence, and there are more videos of him ranting about Axe deodorant, hookers on Tinder, his championship sexual prowess, and other irrelevant topics than there are actually exposing the flat Earth. For example, see his recent video entitled The History of the Flat Earth, the same name and comparable length as the video you are watching now, but contains almost no content relating to history or the flat Earth, just him venting his various political frustrations. In short, anyone visiting his channel would not become a flat earther, and would more likely be turned off from the subject due to his manic ranting style and lack of factual content. In November of 2014, after years of researching and writing, I released my book, The Flat Earth Conspiracy, the first pro-flat Earth book written in nearly 50 years. I simultaneously released a flat Earth conspiracy documentary on YouTube, began giving radio interviews, and published several influential articles on the subject. Within a very short space of time, the flat Earth keyword saw a 600% rise in activity, and Google search results jumped from a few thousand to over 21 million. Soon after this, just as Johnson had experienced with Ferrari, I noticed a wave of disingenuous so-called flat earthers flooding into the movement with the obvious intent to muddy the waters. For example, when I began writing my book, The Flat Earth Conspiracy, I came across Paul Michael Bales on Facebook, a recent flat Earth convert who had been collecting a library of old original flat Earth books and letters. Hoping to find some good reference material, I messaged him asking for recommended titles, and he told me a few choice books to read. The full extent of our interaction consisted of a short Facebook conversation, yet curiously, after my book was published and the flat Earth movement started growing, Paul began stating publicly that he was the Morpheus to my Neo, and that he taught me everything I know about the flat Earth. He even made the ludicrous claim that my book was plagiarized from old Facebook posts of his. Matt Boylan, aka Math Powerland, also jumped in and had the gall to say that, quote, my entire book was plagiarized from his information, which is equally laughable, considering he and his information are only mentioned in 2 paragraphs of my 252-page book. Needless to say, both of their claims are baseless and go to show how desperate they are to receive credit where it is not due. You can also see from this Google Analytics chart that the flat Earth keyword had not made any significant change in 2011 since the launch of Matt's YouTube channel, nor in late 2012, early 2013 when Paul claims to have gotten his start. The moment when the flat Earth tides shifted and the exponential growth of the movement began was clearly around and after November 2014, the exact month when I exploded all of my flat Earth research onto the internet. In November 2014, I published the first pro-flat Earth book written in 50 years, The Flat Earth Conspiracy. I also published several popular articles on the subject, uploaded the most popular flat Earth conspiracy documentary on YouTube, began giving radio interviews, and soon restarted Charles Johnson's IFERS, the International Flat Earth Research Society, and published my most successful book ever, 200 Proofs Earth is Not a Spinning Ball, which has now been translated into 12 foreign languages and read by millions worldwide. These simultaneous actions, my intentional exploding of credible flat Earth information onto the internet all at once, which I had been preparing for the entire year before, are undoubtedly the catalyst behind the exponential growth curve seen beginning here. Later on, around March 2015, recent flat Earth convert Mark Sargent came out of nowhere, began uploading new flat Earth videos every day, uploading new interviews several times per week, got offered his own radio show, started being heralded by many as the king of flat Earth, and credited with starting the modern flat Earth revival. At first I was glad to have him on board, until the cracks began to show and the clear disinformation campaign began. Mark claimed the moon and stars were holographic projections, maintained by alleged dome builders, who keep us inside a Truman Show enclosed structure, among much other nonsense. He even lied about me in several interviews, including one where he claimed that I promoted the idea of a constantly rising flat Earth to account for gravity, when in fact I constantly expose this false concept as being disinformation. Mark was, and continues to be, the Leo Ferrari to my Charles Johnson. In fact, Mark has even bragged several times about being a card-carrying member of Ferrari's farcical organization. By New Year's Eve 2016, our new IFERS had gained over 3,000 members and was receiving 50,000 hits monthly when it was suddenly and without warning or explanation deleted from the internet. As the administrators and myself quickly worked on salvaging our material and creating a new site, the obvious parallels to Johnson losing everything in his NASA agent-initiated house fire were noteworthy. Around the same time, 2 disingenuous flat Earth channels issued 2 fraudulent copyright strikes against me, which I managed to overturn by filing legal counterclaims against them. YouTube itself began a program of regularly unsubscribing old subscribers of mine and lowering view counts of popular videos. Shortly after that, Facebook also decided to jump on the Eric Dubay censorship bandwagon by deleting my account, all my pages, and giving my Atlantean Conspiracy group directly over to a team of Freemason shills who still administrate it to this day, filling the group with nothing but death threats to me, pictures of Masonic goats, and ridiculous belittling memes. After re-registering for new accounts and accumulating my friends lists again, Facebook has now deleted 2 more profiles, and I am currently on my 4th, still trying my best to spread the word. In 2016, the movement continued to grow, with many more genuine flat earthers taking up the reins and exposing the truth online, as well as many more disingenuous shills continuing to poison the well with misinformation. The new IFers began thriving with more monthly visitors than ever before. Many new Flat Earth YouTube channels began creating and mirroring excellent content. Now, at the turn of 2017, I am truly pleased with the rapid growth of this wonderful Flat Earth movement, and I encourage everyone to please help speak out, share this video, and spread the good word, as we look forward to a future where humanity is finally free from this grandest of all deceptions.